So we have a video to share with you today as our story for all ages. And this is a video I first saw during the time of a major staff transition in a congregation that I used to serve. That congregation found it really helpful in that moment. And so today, we'd like to share it with you as we in this fellowship get ready for our own major staff transition with our longtime music coordinator, Gail Swain, on the cusp of her very well-earned retirement. The text in the video is written and read by Dannon Perry. He's someone who devoted his life to inspiring people to take action in situations that seem perhaps quite hopeless. And just for fun, the video images come from the 1956 movie Trapeze. Let's watch. Many years ago, I was living in an apartment in Boston, and I had two really wonderful roommates that I loved. We all got along great, and life was good. Then one day, one of my roommates came home and announced that she was moving out. She had decided it was time for her to get her own place. Oh, I understood. I was even happy for her, but I was also really sad for myself. At that time, my mom was still alive and very much around and present in my life. And my mom was always a very comforting person for me to talk to. So I called her up to vent a little bit about this situation that I was not happy about. And you know what she said to me? She said, "You know, this could be a wonderful opportunity to make a new friend." Ah, I super didn't want to hear that. And I groaned, "Mom, I don't want to have to make a new friend." Ugh. But as it happened, my mom was right. This was the mid 1990s. So we did not post on Craigslist. There was no Craigslist or anything like that. I remember we wrote out a little index card with all our information on a physical bulletin board in a physical community housing office to find our next roommate. And it actually worked. The roommate that we found through that little index card posting went on to become a dear friend. It's probably about 30 years since we lived in that house together, but we're still in touch. She's still one of my forever people, and we always get together whenever I get back to that city of Boston. So, it really did all work out. But today, I'm interested in the moment where I didn't want to go through that change, and I didn't know whether it would work out at all. That moment that Dan and Perry in the video calls the dark void of the past is gone, the future is not here yet. Because here we are. We, the people of this fellowship, are in one of those moments right now, about to say goodbye to a beloved music coordinator who has served this congregation for how long? 19 years. 19 years. It's a really big deal when a staff member who has been here for so long is suddenly not here anymore. It is an enormous change. And soon we too will be in that dark void of the past is gone, the future is not here yet. Most of us human beings, I've found, don't much like hanging out in the void, that dark and formless place where it is not clear where to go or what to do. We actively don't like it so much that we spend our lives trying to stay out of it. So today, because here we are, it's happening, I want to offer a couple of perspectives to help us navigate this void time that we are in. So the first perspective I want to offer you is highly practical, or at least I have found it so. And I'm speaking about the work of William Bridges. William Bridges, who is an expert on how organizations move through times of transition, like the one that we're in right now. Bridges has a name for his own name for that in between time that we're in when the change has begun to happen, but it's not clear where we're going to end up. He calls this time the neutral zone. The neutral zone, because in his words, while you are in it, forward motion seems to stop while you hang suspended between was and will be. Suspended between was and will be. Now, the neutral zone can be a time of incredible creativity. There's an opportunity here, but it also comes with some very predictable dangers that Bridges himself lays out in a book that he calls Managing Transitions. He's talking in this book mostly about workplaces, but I want to translate what he says into a congregational context. So, without further ado, let us dive into the 6 dangers of the neutral zone. All right, and we're going to kind of blow through them. So, let's go fast. First of all, first danger, people's anxiety levels go up and their motivation levels go down. Let's hear that again. Anxiety levels go up, motivation levels go down. And I have noticed, in fact, that during a congregational transition like this, it can be harder to find volunteers. Anxiety up, motivation down. So if you notice this in our fellowship, or perhaps even in yourself, I want you to know that that's normal and it's not going to last forever. Okay, that's the first one. Second, people are not as productive as usual in a transition time. So, if you feel like projects in the fellowship are taking forever to get done, if you are frustrated at yourself, frustrated with each other, this is also really, really normal. And it's not going to last forever. Okay, third danger of the neutral zone. Whatever weaknesses exist in a congregation, and every congregation has weaknesses, they will probably show up more intensely than usual. So, for example, if a congregation struggles to provide enough pastoral care to its members, or struggles to get more people involved in social justice projects, those struggles, or whatever else congregations may be, are probably going to feel more intense during a time of transition. Okay, let's go to number 4. When when systems are in flux, balls tend to get dropped, signals tend to get crossed, and some tasks just don't get done at all. And because of this, some people might find themselves losing confidence in the congregation, and some people might even leave. But again, if things in this moment are feeling kind of chaotic, uncertain, that is normal for a time of transition. And again, it's not going to last forever. All right, we've made it to danger number 5. In the neutral zone, 5th, people can get polarized. Some people want to go back to the way things were. Other people want to create something totally new and different. And it can be hard to find consensus. This can put a strain on a community. But again, I'm just going to keep saying it. If you see any signs of this in this time of transition, it's normal. and congregations can and do get through it. All right, last one. The sixth danger of the neutral zone is that congregations are more vulnerable during this time. And by that I mean a couple things. First, it's harder to respond to challenges from outside. At worst, there might be challenges from the inside. Members might even try to sabotage what the congregation is trying to do by attacking leaders or deliberately stirring up conflict. I've seen that happen elsewhere, and I don't really expect that to be an issue here, but I just wanted to name it to let you know that even this kind of destructive behavior is not unusual in a transition time, and it can be managed with care. So we've made it through all six. And let me just recap that in a transition time like the one we're in right now, we can expect to see anxiety up, motivation and productivity down, challenges feeling harder to deal with, balls dropped, communication unclear, maybe even some polarization and destructive behavior. And it's all normal. And it's not going to last forever. Because this transition time will come to an end. We are going to find our new normal. We will grab that next trapeze bar swinging toward us. As Dan Perry says, our next step, our growth, our aliveness coming to get us. We will get there. And I tell you all this because I really hope that having more awareness of what's normal during a transition will help all of us be with the unsettledness of it all so that we can more gracefully hang out where we are right now in that void space of the past is gone, the future is not here yet. And this is where I want to shift away from the practical perspective that William Bridges brings us toward perhaps a more spiritual view of what this time may be for us. Because the deep spiritual traditions of the world want us to know something else about the void. Think of the Tao Te Ching from China, which says the Tao, the source of everything, is like a well. It is like the eternal void filled with infinite possibilities. Infinite possibilities. I think also of the very first words of the Bible. In the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth was a formless void, and darkness covered the face of the deep. In a spiritual sense, this place we are right now, this void of unknowing, is also a sea of pure creativity, vast, limitless, pure possibility, this primal creativity, the source of everything, the space where new energy and new ideas are born. When we drop into that void space, yes, it can be terrifying, but it is also amazing to let go and trust that something new will be born in you as you let go into that sea of pure creativity. So, friends, let's not be afraid. Let us dare to let go of what has been so we can reach out for our next step, our growth, our aliveness coming to get us. Come, let us see what else is possible. May it be so.